Hello there, welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 931. What's going on, people? Hope you're good wherever this podcast is finding you. What's going on? Hope you're good wherever this Blood Club podcast is finding you. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. How am I? All good, all things considered. All good, all things considered. I'm quickly recording this at like 6:38 in the morning here in the UK, just before I head over to the gym. So I thought I'd give you a nice little pod, a nice little audio accompaniment for your day. So please sit back and enjoy the Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 931. First of all, as some of you may have seen, as some of you may have heard already, it has now been confirmed that Jake Paul's next boxing fight will be against Gervonta Tank Davis, of all people. Yes, you heard that correct. Jake Paul's fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, don't get excited like I did. Don't get duped by the headline like I did. This isn't an actual boxing match, boxing fight, legit one. Obviously, they're two completely different weight classes. This is an exhibition fight, unfortunately. This is one of those exhibition fights, so akin to what happened with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, where it felt like they were both kind of going soft on each other, or Jake was really going soft on Mike Tyson, and it turned into a bit of a farce, which what kind of led to the whole, fake boxing match fucking allegations against Jake Paul, who then responded like he always does and decided to sue people, even though kind of missing the nuance and the context of what people were saying. I don't think people were saying that all of these fights were fake. All of these fights were not real. I think they were saying that particular fight seemed like it was agreed upon beforehand that no one's going to knock each other out, especially not Jake Paul knocking out a legend like Mike Tyson. So as much as I want this fight to be real, as much as I want Tank Davis to be ripping some shots into Jake Paul's body, with full force, as much as I want Tank to catch fucking Jake Paul on the chin, because that'd be amazing for the internet, right? I think that's what Jake Paul kind of banks onto, to be fair to him. That's why he's a great businessman, and he knows what he's doing, which is why he's incredibly rich as well, doing what he's doing. He kind of preys on the fact that most people watching don't like him. Most people watching want him to be want him to get posterized. They want him to get memed, right? Most people want to see Jake Paul on the floor, spread out like a chalk outline from a crime scene, eyes open, looking kind of crazy. Everyone wants to see that meme. So I think he banks on that. So he purposely organizes fights that look like he can lose, but he can't really. And this is a good example. He's fighting Tank Davis, who again, brilliant boxer, top of his game, but he's also a way smaller guy. Yes, he hits hard, but he's also incredibly small compared to Jake Paul, you'd imagine. And it's an exhibition fight, so the likelihood of Jake Paul getting knocked out, the likelihood of Jake Paul getting hurt in a serious way is very minute. Who knows? Because of the size difference, there could be a situation where Jake Paul catches Tank and floors him. Imagine the internet breaking then. Imagine how the internet would break if Jake Paul catches Tank and fucking knocks him out. Just imagine. If people hate Jake Paul already, imagine how much they're gonna hate him after he knocks out Tank. Although some people might be happy that he knocks out Tank, maybe because of Tank's run-ins with the law. I think recently he went to jail because of domestic violence. So maybe some people are gonna be like, you know what, Tank is also a piece of shit. It's justified that he gets knocked out. I personally don't think so. I would much rather see Tank get a win, but hey, he's gonna be mad. I've just clicked, by the way, just looking at this. There's a promo picture here, courtesy of Tudum, a website called I guess this is Netflix's fucking press site. I've just noticed that one of the press images for the fight has a picture of Tank topless, and I didn't notice until now for this clear HD picture that Tank is one of those guys that's got a weird throat tat. His one says blessed, so he's got a blessed throat. Tank is one of those guys. Remember that meme that was going around, like checking out all the pictures of people that have neck tattoos with like very sus, questionable text. Yeah, Tank is one of those guys. Tank has blessed throat on his neck, which is fucking insane. If you think about it, absolutely diabolical to have blessed throat on your neck. But hey, He's an absolute killer, so I can just save my words for myself. Let's read the blurb. It says, it's official. Boxing's biggest disruptor, international superstar, well, let's relax a little bit there, and WBA's number 14 ranked cruiserweight, Jake El Gallo de Dorado. Is that his name? Is that his nickname? Jake El Gallo de Dorado Paul, 12-1, 7 knockouts, will fight undefeated 3-time champion, reigning WA world champion, and pound for pound great Gervonta Tank Davis. TLDR is Jake Paul v Tank, and it's going to be a fight for the ages. Exhibition fight, by the way. Exhibition fight. The bout will take place at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta and will stream live globally on Friday the 14th of November only on Netflix. So it's coming up very soon, isn't it? Shit, I thought it was going to be next year. So they're fighting very soon. In a couple of months, basically. Rotted. It's going to be available to stream live on Netflix, only on Netflix, including all the plans. I actually might try and stream that on Patreon or something. Jake v Tank is a culmination of 4 years of call-outs and brewing rivalry between Paul, the sport's most watched fighter who has redefined boxing promotion, and Davis, one of the most feared punchers in the world, widely regarded as the Mike Tyson of his generation. Paul and Davis, favorite boxers of Gen Alpha X and Gen Alpha and Gen Z, Oh, yuck. What kind of press release is this? Paul and Davis, the favorite boxers of Gen Alpha and Gen Z, respectively, have both battled to claim the title of the modern boxing's biggest star. The stage of the monumental showdown. Paul enters the bout almost exactly 1 year after headlining their largest boxing MMA event in more than 4 decades, while Davis holds the record for the highest pay-per-view buys and revenue for the past 4 years. Really? Shit, Tank is really popular, isn't it? I know, well, obviously I like him, but I didn't know he was that popular. He has the highest pay-per-view buys and revenue event of the past 4 years in boxing. Jesus Christ. Big up him. Yeah, that's the picture of, that's that horrendous match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Jake Paul evolved from the disruptor to a legitimate boxing contender in just the last 5 years as a pro, with viral knockouts and wins over Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, and Nate Diaz. Why don't they mention that guy that he fought? Who's that basketballer? Yo, big up Fashion Roadman in the stream chat. Well, my GG. Big up everyone in the stream chat. Big up Alan. Big up HG Don Dotta. There's that basketballer. How come he doesn't mention him? By the way, big up that basketballer that he fought. The first victim of Jake Paul, the first black guy to get knocked out by Jake Paul. That guy, I feel so sorry for him, man. I feel like his career hasn't been the same. Actually, didn't he get really sick? Didn't that guy I think he got really sick, the first guy that Jake Paul fought. I'm pretty sure he got really sick as well. That's his name, yeah, Nate Robinson. Like, honestly, man, like, that guy, like, that fight with Jake Paul was cursed, bro. That gave him some bad juju, I swear to God. In 2024, Paul shocked the world by defeating Mike Tyson. Shocked the world. Come on, man. Mike Tyson's like 67 years old. Relax. He followed it up with the 2025 and unanimous decision over Julio Chavez Jr., who's now arrested, by the way. Look at everyone that Jake Paul fights. Julio Chavez Jr., after fighting Jake Paul, got deported by ICE. And when he landed in Mexico, he's now under fucking arrest by the police there. And one thing we know about fucking Mexican police, that's not European police, it's not American police. So if he's arrested by the police, that's some serious shit. Along the way, Paul has racked up the accolades from Sports Illustrated and ESPN while championing fighter pay, elevating women's boxing, and partnering with the USA boxing sport in the next generation. I wonder if people like Jake Paul do the things that he does, like the good things, for this type of blurb on a website. You do those kind of things so that you can be looked at favorably. Now against pound for pound great Davis, he's aiming to prove he belongs among the sports elite. Gervonta is an angry little elf who has been disrespecting my name for too long, Paul's told Netflix. His nickname might be Tank, but I'm an FPV drone and I'm about to disable his ass. Ugh. Reading fucking trash talk is quite bad, isn't it? It's better when they say it. Having to read it sounds insane. His nickname might be Tank, but I'm an FPV drone and I'm about to disable his ass. Yes, he's one of the top pound for pound boxers in the world, but my motto is anyone, anytime, any place, against all odds, and I like my odds. First, I'm going to kill David, then I'm going to slaughter Goliath, and you're going to watch me do it. Breaking viewership records again. Atlanta, Friday, November 14th, the worst night of Gervonta's career, live on your Netflix. So I guess he's saying he's going to slay David, right? He's going to kill David as in Gervonta. And I think he means Goliath as in like Anthony Joshua, because that was a fight everyone was really waiting for. Allegedly, him and Anthony Joshua were meant to schedule a fight. Maybe Anthony Joshua didn't want to agree to an exhibition. Maybe Anthony Joshua was wasting too much time. Maybe Anthony Joshua's got another fight scheduled. But the fight that people were thinking he was going to do was against Anthony Joshua. And we know Anthony Joshua takes his boxing seriously. I don't think he would be okay with a farcical exhibition match thing. I think if he fought Jake Paul, it's going to be a proper fight. And obviously, you know, Anthony Joshua's fucking massive and hits really hard, so I can see him knocking out Jake Paul. But yeah, maybe that's what he's trying to do. Build up the anticipation, like push the Anthony Joshua fights back, far back as he can. Fight Gervonta, however that goes, then go Anthony Joshua. That would be fucking interesting if that happens, though. Really interesting. What to know? Gervonta Tank Davis has risen from the streets of West Baltimore to become the biggest boxing star, most feared punchers, trained since childhood under longtime coach Calvin Ford. He turned pro in 18 and blasted through the lightweight ranks, capturing his first title in 2017 at age of 22. Since then, Tank has collected 3 belts in 3 weight classes, headline sold out arenas coast to coast, and delivered viral knockouts that made him a pay-per-view king. His 2020 finish of Leo Santa Cruz and 2-2 footage of Ryan Garcia cemented his claim as the face of boxing. Actually, I want to see that one. Was that the one where he ducks? Where he ducks the right, where he slips one right and then catches him with a right hook, or he slips a punch and catches the guy with a right hook? That was one of my favorite ones from him, I'm not going to lie. Let's see if somebody has got it online here. Leo Santa Cruz. Is that the one? Yeah, there it is. Look at the pressure. Look at the pressure. Look at the pressure. Look at the pressure. Dumb. But he's really small, in it. Like, he's tiny compared to Jake Paul, man. I don't think this is going to go the way Jake Paul wants it to. I don't think Gervonta is going to have a good time with this. Oof. Look at that, mate. Slipped that up. He slipped that punch straight to the chin. His body work is really impressive, though. I'm not going to lie. His punches to the body are really... You don't really see that too often with nowadays with boxers. Everyone's obviously a headshot first. It's rarely you see a boxer like working the body as much as he does. It's fucking great to see, man. Boom. Because that shit pays dividends way later on in the fight. You don't see it straight away, but it pays dividends way later in the fight. So it's fucking incredible to see. They're going at it. Santa Cruz and Davis. This is what, 4 years ago, right? So 2021 or 2024 or 2022 or 2020. However fucking 4 years ago it is. Don't fucking question my maths. There we go. Right hook, left hook. Oof. Oof. Fucking hell. Again, he's really small though, isn't it? I wonder how it works in boxing. If you're small and you hit hard, do you still hit hard? I think it does, right? In boxing, I'm sure if you're small and you hit hard, you still hit hard. So maybe this will still hurt for Jake. I'm hoping it does anyway. I want to see him fucking splayed out on the floor like a crime scene. Honestly, like a crime scene outline. I want to see him eyes open. You know, oof, that hurt, bro. Look, Santa Cruz is gonna boom, but let's take the sound off of that one. Look at that. Where he slipped that. That looked like that hurt, innit? Slipped it. Choom. I think he was even going for the body. You know, look at he was going for the body. Oh no, that was definitely an uppercut. That was just a very fast uppercut. God almighty. Jesus Christ. All that work to the body, and then as he puts his arms down to protect his sides, he fucking flatlines him on the chin. Jesus Christ. Additional information. Where can I stream it? Yeah, so looking forward to it, to be fair. Upset it's an exhibition fight. Really upset it's an exhibition fight. But I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Big up Alan. They're doing this for the bag because none really at stake. Yeah, he's also got a lot of legal problems in it, Gervonta, so it probably makes sense why he's doing it. And also, I think he said he's going to retire in it soon. Didn't he say? Isn't there that viral interview where he said he's going to retire at like 30 or 31? He doesn't want to fight so super long. Like, how old is he? I'm pretty sure he might be in his late 20s, right? I'm sure he said something about he wants to retire early. Yeah, it's about 30 already, so it's coming up to, well, I guess he's going to be 30, or maybe he's going to be turning 31 this November, or is he 30 already? But regardless, I think he says he wants to retire soon, so that might be the reason why. Legal troubles, baby mama drama and all that shit, and then probably just, you know, collect the bag while he can and then go from there. I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Just a quick news, by the way. I don't normally cover this sort of stuff on Tazz because I've created a whole different show, a whole different channel to cover all the comedy podcast stuff that I'm into and all the other random fucking nonsense concerning all that. So make sure you check out my other channel called The Random Show. You can find a link in the description, find a link on my home tab on my YouTube channel. But I just had to comment on this here as well, just for the sake of commenting on it. So my good friend of the show, Brendan Schaub, has inked a really interesting, super surprising, very random deal with Fat Joe of all people. It went viral earlier on today, on my side of the internet at least. People are fucking shocked and surprised by it. Mostly, I guess, because of the unlikeliness of the link up, and also to do with Brendan's history when it comes to lying in general, and when it comes to lying specifically about hair dye. So to see him being sponsored by a hair dye company or be a hair dye ambassador is fucking jokes. But once you read it and once I explain what I explain, it will all make sense to you. I promise you, it will all make sense to you. So this is a courtesy of Fat Joe. It's courtesy of TMZ, sorry. It says Fat Joe inks a hair dye deal with ex-UFC superstar Brendan Schaub. And by the way, I like how they say inks, right? Because of a hair dye, you know, I like that little play. Big up fucking TMZ. Out here trying to win a fucking Booker Prize. So as you scroll down on the article, you'll see a picture that they used for Brendan Schaub for the fucking promotion, for the fucking advertisement. So you can definitely see that they definitely used the pitch. This is definitely a recent picture. And I'm also wondering, right, if some of his grooming, because I was always complaining on the Random Show that Brendan Schaub's mustache was very lopsided. You could clearly see that he didn't know how to cut his mustache properly, trim his beard. Now, you know, I'm very pedantic and fussy and OCD about those type of things. And to see him not being able to cut either end of his, or trim either end of his mustache correctly, used to really rile me. So I'm interested to see here in this promotion picture that's used on the box, you can definitely tell that he's been groomed. Someone's trimmed his mustache that wasn't him. So I wonder if the change that I saw in Brendan Schaub's mustache and beard trimming size and evenness wasn't due to him finally figuring out how to trim his mustache and beard correctly, but was a consequence of him shooting this ad, shooting this cover, these pictures for this hair dye, having the hair and makeup people trim it correctly, and then him just using that as a template. You know, that's what probably happened. I think so now, because for a long time his shit was lopsided and he never get it fixed. And I'm also convinced he cuts his own hair. So why did he suddenly then, you know, realize that he could have to cut his fucking beard properly? I think he got the tip from these guys when he went to go take these promo pictures. That's when he figured it out, and that's when finally he got his fucking thing sorted out. Anyway, that's not the main concern. The main concern is the actual article itself and also the sponsorship. Question of TMZ, it says Fat Joe's fight isn't fighting grey alone. Hip-hop legend has just signed former UFC superstar Brendan Schaub as an ambassador for his hair dye company. TMZ Sports has learned that Joey Crack's Rewind It 10 recently brought Schaub, a top 10 ranked UFC heavyweight turned podcast host, on board, and the rapper's stoked to get to work. All right, as you can see there, that's the official box and cover for Fat Joe's fucking hair dye. The funny thing about Fat Joe's hair dye is that he's largely known as a rapper that's bald. He's known as one of those bald guys. Not just sure if he's bald by choice, but you don't necessarily, I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily think of Fat Joe and think of hair dye. Maybe he puts hair dye in his beard. That kind of looks quite obvious that he does. And it's obviously manicured or trimmed up in a way that you would denote that he's of Hispanic descent, right? So it's a very Hispanic way of cutting his beard. But I would never associate hair dye with Fat Joe. So he's a strange person to even be, he's a strange person to even have a hair dye company, because he has no hair on his head. He has hair on his face, cool, but he's known for somebody that never had hair on his head. So I find that quite intriguing. And then if you think about it, the person he was associated with for a long time when he was coming up was Big Pun. RIP Big Pun. And Big Pun had a huge lock of hair. He had a real head of hair. He had hair for fucking days. Really big guy, and unfortunately passed away too early. But I find that interesting. The guy that he kind of, you know, a lot of people say he stole his swagger from, he stole his stories from, he stole his career from, is now kind of the person he's sort of benefiting from in a weird way, because he has no hair, but then now he has a hair dye company. Anyway, I digress. Brendan, this is what really got me. This is what really got me, right? The blurb. Brendan brings authenticity to everything he does, so it's only right to have him joining the team at Rewind 10. Authenticity is the last word I'd use to describe Brendan Schaub, a guy that's one of the greatest, in my opinion. Brendan is one of the greatest pathological liars in the history of pathological lying. So to describe him as authentic is fucking phenomenal. It continues. His influence as an athlete, podcaster is going to help us reach newer heights and kill the stigma about men coloring their hair and beards. I also love that in all the blurb, it seems like Brendan's management, whoever, have made it sure to stress that he's not a stand-up comedian. He spent 10 years plus trying to be a stand-up comedian. He had a special on Showtime way too early. He had a horrible special on fucking, what's that thing called? On YouTube called Gringo Pappy that was panned and regarded as one of the worst specials ever. And he's associated with Rogan, all that good shit. He spent time at the Comedy Store. But you don't hear mention once of him being a stand-up comedian. So it looks like he's trying to completely scrub that from his history. He doesn't even want to remember that he did stand-up comedy. Because all they mentioned here is him being a fighter and him being a podcaster. I find that interesting too. Let's continue. Then there's another box you see here where it features Travis Kelce on the cover. Travis Kelce, the now he plays for the Chiefs and obviously Taylor Swift's boyfriend at the moment. He's also featured. But one thing I noticed is that although Travis Kelce is also an ambassador for Rewind at 10, it feels like to me maybe he doesn't endorse it anymore. Because this haircut and this beard is very old. This is like the Travis Kelce that used to date black girls, you know. That's the beard and trim and even the earring he's got. Now that he's dating like he's Travis, for better or worse, I guess we all kind of do it. Now that he's dating Taylor, you see Travis Kelce looks a lot more, I'd say, Caucasian, right? He's not as racially ambiguous as he once was when he used to date white girls because he had a different sort of haircut. And I think white guys do that anyway when they date black girls for some reason. They usually get a taper fade. They start wearing fucking earrings and shit. Maybe start wearing grills, whatever it may be. So it's interesting to see that on the box of this they got Travis Kelce on there, but is he really an ambassador or are they just using old images and running down his contract because he doesn't want to take any more pictures or something? I don't know. Either way, Travis Kelce is also assigned to this company that Fat Joe has. It says Schaub joins an already star-studded team with Travis Kelce, DJ Khaled and Tyson Beckford among others. Again, I associate DJ Khaled with literally washing in fucking hair dye. His hair's so black. But I wouldn't necessarily think about Tyson Beckford and think about hair dye, So it feels like that's just like a bag, another bag to kind of keep the lights on. But I wouldn't necessarily think of Tyson Beckford and think of hair dye because he doesn't really have his hair that long anyway, It's like, anyway, whatever. Joe co-founded a company which already has $50 million in sales in late 2023, motivated to knock out the stigma in associated hair dye. So this is a legit company, $50 million in sales, $50 million in sales. And with 7K as a professional MMA fighter, he's right guy to accomplish all of it, right? So this is fucking interesting, right? As I said before, because Brendan is known as one of the greatest pathological liars of all time. So I decided to just gather some clips that will illustrate to you Brendan Schaub's ability to be a pathological liar. And this is one of the clips that went viral back in the day with Brendan and the Fire and the Kid, where he first started using hair dye. He first started using beard and hair dye, and for some reason, he thought no one noticed. Maybe this is a common thing when people use hair dye in general. He thought nobody else noticed that he was using it. He thought people just, wake up one day with a pitch black, jet black beard and hair, and no one's gonna say a word, or no one's gonna notice. So he rocks up to his show, Golden Hour, with Eric Griffin and Chris D'Elia, and then Eric Griffin asks him a very interesting question, and Brendan answers in a very interesting, lying way.
Everything's just it's just weird. Like do you dye your mustache?
No.
That's crazy how
it comes in dark
that is compared to like you having some gray.
But as it keeps going,
a lot.
But if I trim it, so it starts off and then it gets gray. Yeah. So if it gets longer, it gets like it's gray. Yeah.
It actually doesn't make any sense.
No.
Honestly, one of the best clips ever. It actually grows in. It grows in dark black, then it gets what? Like, and you could tell his face is scrambling. He's worried and whatever. And Chris D'Elia could hear in the background saying, "Yeah." He just believes it. He just wants to move on with the subject. And Eric Griffin stands sitting there thinking, "Hold on, that doesn't make sense. How does your hair grow in jet black and then get gray over time? That's not true." So that obviously was a lie. That obviously was a lie. Then there's another clip also here where he finally comes clean about him using hair dye. This is a compilation smashed up of two clips, one featuring the clip I played earlier, where he comes clean again over time, but just interesting regardless.
Everything's just it's just weird. Like do you dye your mustache?
No.
That's crazy how
it comes in dark
that is compared to like then you having some great.
But, but as it keeps
Not
going,
a lot.
But if I trim it, so it starts off and then it gets gray.
Yeah.
So if it gets longer, it gets like it's gray.
It actually doesn't make any sense.
No.
Over 1 month later.
28. Okay.
39's tough, bro. I'm 40 right now.
You 40?
40.
You young as fuck. And you got all that gray out on your face?
All right, well, I used Just for Men the other day.
You didn't use enough.
I know. Well, I looked ridiculous. I looked like Tom Selleck for about 2 minutes.
You married, so you don't care no more. That's what happens when you get married.
Yeah. No, I did diet, and it was a disaster. I looked horrible.
So he finally admitted it weeks after. Don't get me wrong. Still a pathological lie. His first instinct is to always lie. His first instinct is to always lie. And there's some pictures here as well that show you some examples of when he started to dye his hair and then regret to dye his hair. And then he changed it back and decided not to dye it. And the funny thing is, nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, his hair is now blonde. He's going for this blonde thing that everyone does, right? All the white guys, at least anyway, are bleaching their hair blonde. And he now shaves his beard pretty low, so he can't really see it. It's kind of like, you know, maybe it's to hide the grays, I don't know. So it's funny that he's signed to a hair dye company in the moment where he's deciding to dye his hair blonde more often and also to shave his beard pretty low. That's fucking hilarious. Again, another cash grab, another fucking pathological lie wins again. But you'd think, right? You'd think that was a weird link up, right? Brendan Schaub and Fat Joe, why are they fucking linking up? Then, if you type in Fat Joe lies onto YouTube, what you'll notice is that Brendan and fucking Fat Joe actually have a lot in common. Look at this video I found the other day. Moxie approved how Fat Joe created a legacy of lies. How Fat Joe created a legacy of lies. Let's check out this video.
The crates. In the history of hip-hop, one of the biggest artists to emerge from the Hispanic community without a doubt gots to be Fat Joe. From his early days of running with Big L and digging in the crates, to introducing the world to one of the greatest lyricists of all time, Big Pun, to Grammys and other awards. What happens when one feels their own accomplishments aren't enough, and they become prone to embellishing truths, to flat out being accused of making up stories?
Where he's out there talking, and you let us liar talk. You know what a liar's gonna do.
See, Fat Joe get a lot of slack, bro.
Hey, Fat Joe, can you tell us a story? So this one time I'm in the Bronx.
Here lies the tales of the rapper Fat Joe, who has placed himself on Mount Rushmore of rappers with the most questionable stories, classic stories.
He would wake up and be like, pass me the book. And he would have a whole song. He would write it in his sleep.
Lazy stories.
By the way, I was born in the hospital in the Bronx when Larry Davis shot them cops right across the street. I had an army since I was in kindergarten, bro. Fat Joe, I'm telling you.
And scary stories that seem like they came straight from a camp.
I'm probably the only rapper from New York that had physical beef with the West Coast. Right, there's a true story. My babysitters made up the, let me hear you say ho.
These are...
Come on, man. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Such egregious lies. But one of my favorite lies, I'm not watch the whole thing, but check it out yourself. It's called How I Created a Legacy of Lies by this channel called Moxie Approved. My favorite video of his that I've seen where he lied is an actual recent video. A video that's gone viral somewhat recently that features a very interesting collection of lies, in my personal opinion. Look at this fucking video. Big up Big Business over there on Twitter. Big up Big Business on Twitter. And the caption says as follows: Fat Joe tells a story about how he recruited a white dude in prison where the Aryan Brotherhood and other gangs didn't want him, and turned him into the most feared man in prison while nicknaming him Hong Kong Mongolian. This is the story he's telling. He allegedly hired some non-affiliates, a guy that was disregarded by the Aryan Brotherhood in prison, and turned him into a hitman. What? Okay. Let's hear this story. So maybe this is why Brendan Schaub and Fat Joe have a lot more in common. Pathological lies to the fucking cows come home.
6 or 8 of them on my table, right? When I tell you this shit tastes like dog. Listen, even the guys that mind their business, there's some guys in jail mind their business, don't bother nobody. They over there, they don't talk to nobody. You know, they good people. When I tell you all of them looked over and wanted to see my first reaction when you had his fucking food, this was dog shit, this food, right? My dog was eating better than this. They all look and they was like, okay, you know what it is in here now, right? So I go like, but very quick, I got me an Italian chef. They had a chef down in the thing, Chef Junior. He wasn't pussy, so don't think he was just Italian. But he was my chef. He make me homemade ice cream, mozzarella. They would steal the clams, and he would make me linguine.
Someone needs to corroborate this story, man. He thinks it's a scene out of Goodfellas or something. He had his own personal chef in prison. He used to make him ice cream. Cook him lobster. Get foie gras smuggled in. Calamari.
Winnie and clam sauce, all type of shit. We were dumbing out, right? Then I got pick up a guy I told you about, Hong Kong's Mongolian. So in jail. How you think the nigga Hong Kong's Mongolian? Because he was the guy nobody wanted. And so in jail, if you white, you with the white guys. You black, you with the black guys. You with the Spanish. He was a white guy that the white guys ain't want. But I saw him. Yeah, but and he was, man, he had that brute strength. So like he played basketball and nobody wanted to D him because he'll hit you with an elbow or shit, but he was strong. So I said, my man, come with us, man. You eat with us, you with us. And I gave him a name, Hong Kong's Mongolian. And one day he comes up to me because the guys. Yo.
I love Jadakiss as well. I love Kiss because he believes everything. Yeah, he believes fucking everything. Oh, fucking sorry. What's his fucking name? Yeah, he believes everything. He believes everything. I don't know why.
Partially slow. I mean, but he's just no. He's not slow. He's just slow. He's a little bit off. He ain't go past second grade, but. This guy was, he was.
Damn, second grade.
Nah, but you
give him at least sixth grade.
No, this guy take out 10.
Give him six. Give him six.
This guy would take out 10, 20 guys. Like it was all out war. He's gonna take out 10, 20. He's Hong Kong's Mongolian.
Yo, look at.
He used to stand there like this. The white guys was looking like, oh shit, it gotta be something to this. Fat Joe snatched up this guy, and I'm calling him. And the whole job, yo, listen, ain't no different than this show. Hong Kong's Mongolian. He's walking through. What's up, boss? What's up? They looking like we made a mistake. We didn't recruit this nigga. He's the Hong Kong.
He was like Shador. They let him go.
Let him go. He went past all the drafts, and I seen the sparkle in him. I said, yo, this is Hong Kong's Mongolian. He come up to me one day. He said, boss. I said, what's up? He said, I just realized Hong Kong and Mongolia is two different places. I said, my man, shut the fuck up. Be happy I gave you a day. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, boss. He goes up.
To be fair, as much as he's a pathological liar, he's also a really good storyteller. This is something that Brendan isn't. So I wonder if that's actually the key to a good lie. If somebody wants to know, or it's a quick tell for a good lie, is an elaborate story, right? People always say that. If the story is really elaborate, unnecessary details are usually a sign of somebody being a liar or somebody lying. But in this case, when it comes to Fat Joe, his extra spice, his extra fucking marinade, right, that he puts onto stories, his outright fabrications, and the way that he tells the stories in a very descriptive way, cinematic way, you almost feel like you're there, right? Actually lends themselves to the lies. So even though he's lying, which I know probably Jadakiss being the smart man that he is, although Jadakiss probably knows he's lying, he doesn't matter because it's entertaining. And those people like that on ends. I remember there used to be people like that in ends who would lie. You know they were lying about their stories. You know they were lying about some girls they hooked up. You know they were lying about some fight they were involved in. You know they were lying about some police chase they got in. But they were such good storytellers, you didn't mind that they were lying, you know? So maybe that's what Brendan has to do. He has to just figure out a better way to lie, be more entertaining, be more convincing, and no one will really care if he's lying or not. It will just sound entertaining, and everyone wants to hear the greatest hits from him, as they do for Fat Joe. So big up Brendan for this fucking hair dye deal. It's fucking ridiculous and absolutely funny. I'm pretty sure it's actually available to purchase now on the actual website. Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure I saw it available to purchase on here. Let's go. Let's shop. Is it Shop Beard? Where is it? I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere here. Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Let's do date. Let's do new to old. The other people here sponsored. There's beard. Okay, let's do hair. I'm pretty sure I saw it here. Somebody already linked it. This day new to old. Okay, I don't see it listed here. Okay, let's go to the crew. The crew. Okay, you see Tyson Beckford there. You see whatever Nori, Wonderboy Thompson. Brendan's not featured on here. Okay. Brendan's not featured on there just yet. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere. Maybe I saw it on the fucking Find the Kids subreddit. Maybe someone posted on here. But I'm pretty sure I saw somebody link to the actual beard itself. And the actual thing. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere on here. Let me see the comments. Maybe somebody linked it. Let me see the comments. Images. Where is it? Someone not link it? Which one was it then? Bear with me 1 second on here, but I'm pretty sure I saw somebody link it somewhere here. It's made itself on Facebook. Oh, that maybe it was here. Maybe it was that one actually. Maybe it was this one here. Let me see if it's there. Maybe it was that one there. Boom, 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 boom. No, it's not. Oh shit, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? Shadow ban? No, it's somewhere here, isn't it? Someone's got it, right? No, there it is. He's not listed. He's breached. No, he's on here. I'm pretty sure I saw it listed on here. I'm pretty sure I saw a picture. Okay, maybe not then. But I'm pretty sure I saw him listed on here somewhere with a little blurb as well. But yeah, there's Tyson. But imagine, look at the advert. I guess he's kind of got hair now when he does interviews, or maybe they're doing it for the beard. But there's Tyson Beckford's box with his beard dye. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. But again, I associate him with this look. You know, being bald for most of the time, or most of his life, most of his modeling career at least. So that's an interesting addition to the team. And of course, Travis Kelce, he doesn't dress like that anymore at all, or look like that. You know, he looks was that Travis Kelce GQ? He doesn't look like that at all. He's got a completely different look now. This is Travis Kelce. This is what Travis Kelce looks like nowadays. You see, this is a completely different Travis Kelce. So I wonder if maybe he just didn't approve them using his imagery again. But he's gone very white. He's gone very country. You know, which is okay because that's what he is. But his hairstyle and his grooming is very different to the guy they have listed on that website. You know, it's definitely not the same guy. Definitely not the same guy anymore. He probably doesn't even wear an earring anymore, if I'm not mistaken. He's got more hair than he did before though, so he'll probably be a best model for it. But you know, he's doing different things now, like wearing fucking high vis vests in the fucking ocean. So yeah, big up Travis Kelce. Big up Fat Joe, big up Brendan, big up everybody involved. It's great to see, it's great to see, it's great to see. Continuing on quickly here, this is question of CNBC News. It says Meta puts some brakes on its massive AI talent spending spree. So I don't know about you, but I had a feeling that all of this, do you remember there was a period of time where for a few months, loads of AI companies, specifically Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's thing that he was doing, where they were kind of going out their way to poach all the best talent from other AI companies to have them work for Meta in order to kind of get to a point where their AI tool was far superior, far stronger than others. It was like a race to the finishing line because we're fast approaching general intelligence. And they were paying some people, researchers, right, from these other AI companies like ChatGPT and other places. They were paying them high amounts, incredible signing on bonuses that would equal up into the millions, if I'm not mistaken, right? Crazy amounts. And then I guess over time now, when it was happening, I was thinking to myself, this doesn't make any sense. Like, most of these people aren't even engineers, right? Why are they so lucrative, or why are these people so in demand? It seems like a little bit of a panic thing, right? Everyone's just rushing to kind of get the right people in, the right hires in, hoping that those hires are going to really be the game changers. But I thought the signing on bonuses were just exorbitant and just crazy and unnecessary. So it seems like that's the case, and these companies have now reacted to it, Meta being the ones that was more culpable, and they've now put a halt on it because some of these fees that they were paying for some of these guys were just, they're not worth that money, you know? And I'm assuming either that or most likely after a month or two of them being in the company, I think Mark Zuckerberg and others have realized that maybe the haste to get these guys signed on was maybe a little bit too hasty, and they may have overpaid for some of the talent that they've got on their team now. So if I do this right, if I go Meta AI bonus, what's that, signing bonus, right, you'll see these stories. See, look at that. Meta has been offering extremely large signing bonuses, potentially up to $100 million to attract top AI talent. That's $100 million across all the talent, by the way, not for one person. To attract top talent, particularly from rivals OpenAI, makers of ChatGPT. This aggressive recruitment strategy is part of Meta's push to become a leader in generative AI. And while the exact figures and details are not fully public, reports suggest that these are some of the most substantial signing bonuses in tech. So I guess maybe after seeing these people work day to day, they've realized that they grossly overpaid for these people, which makes complete sense because I don't think there's anybody in AI, unless you're fucking making the chips, right? Unless you're actually making the chips that power AI, there's no one that's probably worth those signing bonuses. Let's be honest. Let's read the article. Meta Platforms has paused hiring for its new artificial intelligence division, ending a spending spree that saw it acquire a wave of expensive hires in AI researchers and engineers, the company confirmed on Thursday. The pause was first reported by Wall Street Journal, which said that the freeze went into effect last week and came amid a broader restructuring of the group, citing people familiar with the matter. They're already restructuring. Jesus Christ. In a statement shared by CNBC, a Meta spokesperson said that the pause was simply some basic organizational planning. Yeah, sure. Creating a solid structure for a new super intelligence team after bringing people on board and undertaking yearly budgeting and planning exercises. Yeah, they've probably paid these people way too much signing bonuses. They're locked in on crazy contracts. Maybe they've worked out a way to kind of finagle a deal where they don't have long fucking probations, right? So you got these guys locked in your company for a long time, making a lot of money. So now if you're going to be paying these people way more than they're worth, you might as well stop the hiring so you can actually save some money. According to the Wall Street Journal report, a recent restructuring inside Meta has divided its AI efforts into 4 teams. That includes a team focused on building the machine superintelligence dubbed the TBD Lab, to be determined, and an AI products division, an infrastructure division, and a division that focuses on long-term projects and exploration. It added that all 4 groups belong to the Superintelligence Labs, a name reflects as Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg's desire to build an AI that can outperform the smartest humans on cognitive tasks. In pursuit of that goal, Meta has been aggressively spending on AI this year, that included efforts to poach top talent from other AI companies, which others said included signing bonuses as high as $100 million. In one of its most aggressive moves, Meta acquired Alexander Wang, not the fashion designer, not the fucking touchy, handsy, allegedly grapey, molesty, sex pesty fashion designer who got no fucking blowback from that whole case and was welcomed back with open arms into the fashion industry, by the way. Still gets his stuff shown on fucking Vogue.com and shit. Fucking heinous, to say the least. You can't say it's fucking white privilege because he's not white, he's Asian, but still very, very dubious. It's not him, it's another Alexander Wang, founder of Scale AI, as part of the deal that saw Facebook parent dish out $14.3 billion for a 49% stake in the AI company. Again, too much money, man. This is the next hustle. This reminds you of the early days of NFTs. People just acquiring stuff and buying stuff like way more worth than what it actually is, and getting bumped in the end. Wang now leads the company's AI lab focused on advancing the Llama series of open source large language models, LLMs. Too much spending. While Meta's aggressive hiring strategy has caught headlines in recent months for the high price tags, other mega cap tech companies have also been pouring billions into AI talent as well as R&D and AI infrastructure. However, the sudden hiring pause by the owner of Facebook and Instagram comes amid growing concerns that the investments in AI are moving too fast and a broader sell-off of the US technology stocks this week. Earlier this week, it was reported that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said a group of journalists that he believes that AI is in a bubble. Of course it's in a bubble. That's not something crazy to say. That's obvious. However, many tech analysts, investors disagree with the notion. Well, he's true though. Sam Altman was right. He's a smart guy. Like him or lump him, you know, he's a bit of a fraud. He's a bit of a fucking liar. But he's definitely right. Altman is a golden child of the AI revolution, and there could be aspects of the AI food chain that show some froth over time. But overall, we believe tech stocks are undervalued relative to their fourth industrial revolution, said tech analyst Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities. But yeah, you would say that because his essential career is dedicated or predicated on people thinking the stocks are always going to rise and never going to dip. So take Dan Ives' comment with a pinch of salt, I would say. He also dismissed the idea that Meta might be cutting back on AI spending in a meaningful way, saying that Meta is simply in a digestion mode after a massive spending spree. Yeah, digestion mode still means pause. When you digest, you don't continue eating. After making several acquisitions, size offers and hires in the 9-figure range, I see the hiring freeze as a natural resting point for Meta, said Daniel Newman, CEO of Futurum Group. Before pouring more investment into AI teams, the company likely needs the time and place and access to new talent, determine whether they're ready to make a new breakthrough, and the company is looking for, he added. So yeah, the big hiring pause has started with AI. I think very soon you're going to hear of companies reducing, eradicating, firing a bunch of AI researchers and prompt analysts and stuff. I think the hiring, rush was too hasty. The signing bonuses were egregious, because everyone was really rushing to fucking be the first to over the line with generative fucking intelligence, and now they realize a lot of people they hired aren't that smart, and they're probably not going to cross the line anytime soon. If they do, they'll do it with the people they already started their team with. That's what I think happened. But I could be wrong. Who knows? I could be fucking wrong. Let's continue, and before we continue, I wanted to quickly show you this really funny thing that I saw online that made me think, you know what? I kind of get it. So for the longest time on this particular channel, I've been complaining about DJ booth culture, right? DJ booth culture has now become very prevalent in the dance music scene, because now DJ booths have now turned into the place where people essentially make it like a de facto VIP spot, because most nightclubs in the world, unless they're in Miami or Ibiza, don't really have VIP spots, which I personally like, and other people do too, right? The dance floor is a sort of egalitarian, level playing field where people from all walks of life can essentially dance, have, good times and shit, without feeling like, one person's richer or poorer because of where they sit, what table they have, how high up it is, and blah 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 blah. And also the DJ booth happens now, with my scene anyway at least, it's also now a place where like somebody that's in the know, somebody that's a friend of the promoter, a friend of the club can be seen, and it's more seen as a cool thing and less of a status symbol monetarily or class symbol. It's seen as a cool thing. Well, that stuff has changed really in recent years, and now DJ booths has turned into not only VIP spots, but also a spot where DJs can invite various young ladies, various attractive young ladies that they like, to hang out in the DJ booth. And some DJs, if you actually pay attention to the DJ booths whilst they're DJing, you could quickly tell the type of girls that they're into. It's a very inside baseball, almost bordering on a parasocial thing to even analyze and to even notice. But you know me, I'm a fucking weirdo. But if you watch enough DJ live streams of the same DJ, you will be able to notice a pattern or a theme or a type in the DJ booth, and you'll quickly be able to tell what kind of shit makes their dick hard, right? So I say all that to say, DJ booths now are the spot where the cool, the famous, and the really hot girls go. Guys like myself who would have prided themselves on trying to get into the DJ booth as a sign that you're established in the scene, that you're well known, that you're respected as a commentator, as a DJ, as a raver, wherever it may be, those days are gone now. Nobody wants guys who look like me in a DJ booth, especially if you're not into guys, right? Because why would you have someone that looks like me in a DJ booth if you could have a girl that looks like this in a DJ booth? I really hope I don't get fucking banned from fucking YouTube for this video. So I'm going to actually zoom in so you can't really see as much. But what the fucking fuck? Big up Gordo. Gordo, who's now part of OVO and is a DJ himself in his own right, decided to upload this video of this very, very well endowed, very well buxomated girl on his social media profile. Pin post as one of the first slides in a whole carousel of fucking slides, right? And the funny thing about it is the caption, actually. The caption is really funny too. If you scroll down the caption, he says in the comments, like if you want the first track ID. But obviously it's concerning more the girl, right? So this girl has obviously been breaking the internet on my side of social media. But when I looked at it, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I kind of get why a lot of these DJs are very anti-mandem, right? They don't like the fellas coming into the DJ booth. I get it, because it's either they get a girl like this or they get some like 17-year-old, 18-year-old girl from Austria to stand there in the DJ booth, right? They'd much prefer that than have somebody that looks like me in the DJ booth, which I fucking get. Oh, by the way, she's got that tattoo that I want. Remember I said that ages ago, I said I wanted a tattoo, right? From, I think it was a lyric taken from one of Lancey Foe's tracks, where he says, sun behind, moon up front. Yeah, sun behind, moon up front. I think I wanted mine the other way around, so I wanted to get like a moon crescent underneath my eye, like a face tat, which is fucking insane to get a face tat right now, right? I have no tattoos on my entire body, and the first I want to get is a face tat. You know, I'm a fucking poser, right? You know, I'm a fucking loser. You know what I mean? You know, this is a midlife crisis time. And then I went to get like a half crescent moon under my eye, and then get a sun at the back of my ear. So, you know, moon in front, sun behind type of thing, taking, you know, credence of that fucking lyric. So it's interesting that she's got that on her face, because it means my idea for the tattoo that I thought was really interesting isn't that interesting. It isn't that unique, you know, because this regular girl with massive chonkers seems to have the same thing as well. But yeah, man, like, what a absolute incredible video and situation to see. And again, a reminder as to why the DJ booth is now the home of the hot girl, whether you're, you know, a 21-year-old girl from fucking Sweden, or whether you're a fucking big boobed chick from wherever she is. This is where you want to be, because this can make you famous. Why is it gonna make you famous? There's a rumor online, I'm not too sure if this is true, right? I'm not too sure if this is a true, but there's a rumor online that that girl allegedly has been signed to a modeling agency. I don't know if it's true, I don't know if people are lying, but I have read online that that particular young lady has been signed to a modeling agency. I think it's Playboy. Let me see if I can find the post. Somebody posted on social media that that woman is now signed with fucking Playboy, which kind of tells you everything you need to know about this fucking industry and about why certain people do certain things, because that her life has been completely changed because she decided to go to a rave in a really skimpy top, and now all of a sudden she's a fucking star and she's actually famous. She's probably going to make more money than she's ever made, right? So this is where I saw on Twitter. This account called Clipped Season says this Instagram model received a Playboy contract within 24 hours after the clip went viral. So let me scroll down, and I think somebody posted her at. That's her at, right? What? On Instagram, is that her? Is that her, Mariah, or is that somebody else? Is that Mariah McKay? Is that actually what her name is? Let's see. I'm actually curious to see what her name is. Is her name actually Mariah McKay? Or is that somebody else? Please don't be somebody I don't want to see. Let me see. Is that actually her? No, it's not her. Okay, somebody like, but I'm pretty sure I saw somebody post what her at was. Oh, is that her at? Okay, no, that's her at there. That's her at right there. Let's see if this is true about her getting signed a deal. I'm not really sure if this is true, but I'm checking this live. I'm trying to verify live if she actually got signed to Playboy, because that would be fucking hilarious. Okay, there's the girl, 22,000 followers. Oh, look who's following her, by the way. Look who's following her, that I follow at least. Fucking Conor McGregor, the notorious MMA. I wonder, did he find her at the same time that video went viral, or was he always a fan of her work? I'm very curious to know what way around it is. So let's see, what's her Instagram story? Did she post anything? No. Okay, I don't know I don't know who found out about this Playboy deal, but I don't see anything on her page. If you're from Twitter, X this comment. So yeah, this lady allegedly has got signed a deal with Playboy, And look, she's at all the raves, by the way. She went to go see Kind of Music play somewhere. Was it in Greece? Oh, she's at that famous hotel, right? Is that in Monaco? That hotel that all the rich people go to, all the Lamborghinis in front. She looks like she wears a lot of nice stuff. It makes sense though, right? If you've got tits that big, you're not gonna pay for a lot of things, are you? Right? If you've got tits that big, you're not gonna be working in Target, are you? Right? You're not gonna be working in Target. You're not gonna be working in the post office. You're gonna be, you're gonna be fine. Somebody's going to sponsor your life, in it, right? You're not gonna be working some dead end jobs. So it makes sense why she looks quite lavish. Jesus. Oh, that's the outfit. Okay, that's the outfit. In case you want to know what the full outfit looked like, there you go. That's the full outfit right there. Jesus Christos, man. You know what's funny about that outfit, right? That's the type of girl that would be like, oh my god, these guys are so annoying in a club. I'm just here to dance with my girls. I don't even want to talk to guys right now. I just want to be here with my ladies. It's like, bruh. Like, I get it, but come on, man. I know guys can be annoying. I know guys can be a bit rapey and stuff, but come on, lady. Come on, lady. Come on. We got some more pictures of her going to the club. I think that's on the day that she got papped, right? She's friends with another DJ. What's this person called? Dina. She's friends with a DJ called Dina. Who the fuck is Dina? She's friends with someone called Dina Music. Okay, wow, big up her. She's actually helping her friend out because she's got more followers than her friend. Her friend is someone called D_Dina.music with 4,000 followers, and that girl's got like 120,000 or something. So she's helping out her friend. That's good. That's a nice friend. She's clouting out her friend who's got, whatever. Let's see. Her friend plays on a boat. They've got a cute dog. Her and her friend walking down the city center. Yeah, that's the hotel that all the rich billionaires go to, that people film videos outside, the TikToks and shit. And yeah, that's her, man. Allegedly, she has a Playboy deal after one appearance at a DJ. Oh, those are the Kind of Music cherries, by the way. No, Pasha cherries. I think those are the cherries from Pasha, one of those clubs anyway, at least. So it looks like there's a strong. This is the interesting side for me is this. Maybe I should do some sort of video about it. There is some sort of correlation between like models, escorts, sex workers, and just like hot girls in general when it comes to clubbing. There's a different scene. I don't see it because I go to dingy warehouse raves. I go to fold and shit. I'm going to fucking basements. I'm going to places where people are shooting up in the hallway. But when it comes to raving culture, party culture overall, there is a very strong link between those worlds, If it doesn't exist anymore, but magazines like Maxim, right? Magazine like Max Power, maybe is a good example. Maybe Men's Health. Those type of girls are in those type of magazines, big chested, super fat lips, straight hair, Rolexes and stuff, driving around in G-Wagons. There's something linked. I don't know what the link is. Maybe because they're just partying all the time. So these are the people that you see. If you're a DJ and if you're a professional DJ, maybe these are the people you only see all the time because they don't have jobs, So you see them on the circuit all the time and you get friendly and shit. Maybe some of them you hook up with. I don't know. But yeah, that's her. Fair play. Fair fucking play. Jesus Christ. Is this meant to be a get ready with me? Like, she knows what she's doing, innit? Jesus Christ, she's got a very strong USP, innit? Fucking hell, she's got a very strong USP. She's showing us her, what's it called, a get ready with me as she goes to Pasha. But the only thing I can notice is the fucking cleavage. Like, Jesus Christos. Okay, sometimes social media, I think influencing doesn't really work for men, innit? Like, is a man gonna get a Playboy deal or a contract if he's just got like a massive dick print that goes down to his knees? I don't think that's gonna work. Even if you got like a really good six-pack, you got a really popping chest, it just doesn't work the same, Girls just have a cheat code when it comes to social media. If you're attractive or if you've got very striking assets, people are gonna go crazy over you. But I don't think it works the same way with men. You can't. There's a limit to how much a really good-looking hot guy can do on social media or get, Whereas with girls, you get everything. Like the whole world gets opened up to you, Like the whole world gets opened up to you. So big up this girl, MCK Amira. I think that's her name is. just get the big baps out there, let people kind of see them. She kind of looks like Kylie Jenner, innit? So there's something kind of Kylie Jenner about her. Maybe it's that angle. There's something kind of Kylie Jenner about her face. Or maybe Kylie Jenner looks like her. I don't know. But yeah. She allegedly has a deal with Playboy. Allegedly has a deal with Playboy. Congratulations to her. And big up to Gordo for getting her that deal and making her fucking famous. Big up to Gordo for putting her on her profile and making her fucking famous. Fucking insane video clip. I like how she's not like shy at all, by the way. It's like, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. It is what it is. Talking about being famous, talking about Rave, we're going to mention this as well. This article courtesy of The Independent. The title of the article is Beyond the Rave, How Gen X is Saving Clubland and Showing Their Kids What They're Missing. I don't actually agree this is the case because a lot of Gen X kids don't actually go out or drink or go do drugs or go crazy. So I'm curious to see what conclusion this article came to. Let's take a look. It was 4 in the afternoon. I walked into the club and actually felt a wave of euphoria washing over me, with the lasers going and the music pumping, feeling the bass going through me. James Davis, 54, wow, recalls his first steps back into partying at the 90s club Strawberry Sunday reunion event in 2023. Seeing everyone with their hands up in the air, I was like, okay, this is great. Davis has a critical eye. He used to be out 4 nights a week at Ministry's magazine club editor in the 1990s, then found himself deep in corporate life for companies like Vodafone and Samsung before heading to Ibiza to run wellness retreats. After moving back to London post-COVID, he discovered all the old names, all the old clubbers were back. I know people who are really senior lawyers at big law firms but secretly go raving as well. It's not even about reminding us of our youth, it's about going back to include happy culture. Okay, that's quite cool. I quite like that. But again, this isn't like random Gen Xers. These are people who used to rave but don't rave anymore because they're of their age, because of their job and shit. This is different than just a random person on the street deciding to just suddenly go and queue up at Fabric. Like, yeah, so bit of an okie doke on this article. That's something that's missing in the modern world. Social media is very divisive and fracturing, but being in a real life environment, it's all about coming together. There's something very attractive about that to people. That's true though. One of the things I really loved about the first times I used to go to Berlin, one of the things I really fucking used to love about my first times going to Berlin was how varied the ages were with people on the dance floor. It wasn't just people in my age range, it was just people younger. It was people that were literally, you would say, over 40, over 50. And I thought personally, in my personal opinion, those were the people that made the raves. I think personally, I think having that group, like we lost them during COVID, obviously. I think we lost Gen Xers. I think we lost millennials during COVID when it comes to raves. I think the only people that you see outside really in raves all the time are majority Gen Z and some millennials. But I think Gen Xers in general don't go out raving anymore. And I think we lost them during COVID because a lot of people, like, imagine if you were 29 during COVID, you came out of COVID and you were like in your early 30s, you know? So people grew up very quickly. A lot of my friends especially, you know, decided to get pets on purpose so they wouldn't go out, or decided to start families because they're at home all the time. So, you know, why not fucking start a family now, especially with people having the ability to work from home. So they kind of, even though they don't make that much money, you can still afford to kind of raise a kid because you don't have to work all the time and be away from the kid. You can kind of raise it while you're working from home and shit, blah, 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 blah. So I feel like the club culture is kind of this, it's kind of less, it's kind of not as good as it used to be because of the lack of variation in ages and also obviously nationalities. During COVID also, we lost a lot of our European brothers and sisters. A lot of people from Spain, France, Italy and stuff during COVID, because a lot of those people are very family orientated. They usually live in houses where the whole entire family lives in one fucking block and stuff. Most people are really old. So a lot of the people there passed away or got really sick. So a lot of people from here, relatives, ran back home to go look after people and shit and never came back. Because, you know, you can work from home still I know now a couple people actually who kind of are from France and Spain and fucking Italy who have went back home to work online or work from home for companies that are here in the UK. So I think all of that has definitely contributed to a very distinct drop in quality when it comes to nights out and just, you know, vibes on the dance floor, because those people I feel like were the glue that helped to make the fucking clubs and the events way more interesting. Now, again, it's just full of Gen Zs and millennials, you know, two groups of people that love to fucking complain. Davis' experience is backed by the reels on TikTok and Instagram showing archive footage from clubbing days when no one had phones and everyone was in it for a good time. The new research from Liverpool University shows that clubbers in their 40s and 50s make up a significant part of the city's underground club culture. Sometimes the majority of those are underground events. Okay, fair enough. I don't necessarily agree that's true, but hey. Liverpool's Richard Anderson, author of Persistence of the Underground in Dance Music Scenes, research clubs that were, he says, trying to create evenings where people could lose their inhibitions and be friendly in unfriendly society. He was surprised to find how many of those were attended with Gen Xers. These clubbers, he says, have limited aspirations to grow and become the biggest thing ever. The intention is just to have a best night out, not to necessarily see the biggest name DJ, and it could just be someone who's going to play music that they like, whether it's made 35 years ago or 35 months ago, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe there's some truth in that. Again, I generally don't see this. I don't think this is the case across the board. The clubs that I go to, the majority of people I see, the majority of people that make up the dance floors that I see are definitely Gen Zs and millennials. Majorities, I'll say 70% Gen Zs and the rest obviously millennials. I don't usually see a lot of Gen Xers. The only time I see a lot of Gen Xers at the clubs is when a particular artist plays. Like that time I went to see Richie Horton play, do his label night, his little performance as Plastic Man and shit at Fold. That was quite good because I saw a bunch of people that were, you know, similar ages of fucking Richie Horton, maybe had followed him since the inception of his career, blah 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 blah. That made it a very interesting and fun space to be in. It continues. Anderson's research covered businesses that weren't aimed at older clubbers, especially he found dancers were happily mixed with younger and older clubbers alike. It's an experience that's borne out some of the dedicated Gen Z clubbers too, who will happily share a space with clubbers their parents' age. In mainstream clubs like Academy and Leeds, you've got people in their 20s who are going more to hit on people than the music. Again, I don't think that's true. So you're going to see young clubbers, but if you go somewhere more underground like Beaver Works or the White Hotel in Manchester, where they'll have good house, good techno and jungle nights where wider age range people are going for music and community, not so snogs and random. Yeah, exactly. I need to go to the White House, by the way, or the White Hotel, sorry. Everyone kind of raves about this place. It's like a warehouse type of venue, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can find someone with a Twitter about it, but I think it's called the White Hotel Manchester. It usually has some really good events. I think I saw a clip of LSDXO playing there one time. I really want to check it out. But allegedly White Hotel Manchester has a lot of fucking cool events and shit happening that I would love to see sometime soon. Who's this? This is Pete. Someone playing. What's this? Tuesday night, someone played their band. I want to see if there's clips of a DJ playing. There you go. There's a DJ playing. This was shot. What? This looks like it was shot in night. So this is a clip of somebody playing. Kush Jones playing in the White Hotel in Manchester. This looks fucking fire. Big up Blood Clot Kush Jones. Yeah, so big up the White Hotel. A survey by the Eventbrite in 2019 found that 3.7 million Britons over 45 clubbing once a week. One promoter, Phil Marks, guesses that the number has increased significantly. Mark 57 worked as a recruitment on 30 years and sold his consultancy at the beginning of 2023. After he had to sit at a desk, he looked around for a day to go rave, couldn't find what he liked, so he launched a one-off one in July called Studio38.club. It's like Studio 54. that's actually quite a funny name. Studio 38 or Studio 38. It's like Studio 54, but we're open 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Jesus Christ. If you have to go to a rave those particular times, you are definitely old in it. That's brutal, bro. But I guess it works, innit? If you're that age, it kind of you get out early enough to have some fun, and you get home with time enough to fucking have a shower and sleep. It's a Studio 54, but we're open 3 to 8 p.m. at the pub in King's Cross. I thought I'd sell 20 tickets to some mates, but I sold 150 and filled the place up. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's definitely going to be an appetite for that, because there's some people, older people, who don't want to be in the same places like maybe Gen Zs and millennials. They want to be amongst people their age, so you know they can kind of pace themselves. They're not feeling super old. 'Cause that's the one thing. If you're conscious and you're not a fucking loser, when you go to clubs, even me, you still feel like an old fucking granddad in the corner, even though you're not, you know. But if you're a psycho, you go to these places and you're perfectly fine to be in a club with fucking 19-year-olds. Most people aren't. Most people want to go in places that at least have an age range that's similar to theirs. So I'm not surprised this guy's event is popping off and there's a demand for it, because there is probably going to be a portion of Gen Xers that would love to go raving, but be amongst people that, you know, are similar age range as them. His second party at the Roxy in Soho sold 350 tickets. Last year, he ran 40 parties across London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Bristol, an average of 400 punters per party. He says the competition has exploded in the past 2 years. When I started in London, I was selling out maybe 4 parties ahead, but suddenly there are 15 club nights aimed at older clubbers in London alone. And if you're going to any UK city, you'll have between 3 to 7 companies doing similar events. Studio 38 Club is an underground event. He stresses its 80s and 90s club classics, but he knows people who've attended one of his events, kind of a gateway club, and are now back clubbing all the time. Ah, okay, that's actually quite interesting. It's a gateway club event. Venues are happy to see us. Youngsters don't drink anymore, as so the clubs can't make any money. That's a good point. Youngsters don't drink anymore. The clubs don't make any money. There were 36,000 clubs in the UK in the 80s. Now there's 1,000. That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. Older people drink more, do more drugs, and they have more disposable income, you know. Like literally this, like a person that's like in Gen X would probably save up some money or just spend whatever money on the night out and not even think about it. Be like, yeah, I haven't been on a night out in the fucking year. I'm gonna go get crazy for this one night and I'm gonna spend 500 quid, you know. That's one person. So imagine if you times up everybody that's in the venue. So most likely these clubs make the most money they ever make at the bar with these Gen X raves, you know. One owner told me the footfall is down 20% and they ended up having to do student nights with shots for £1, so they're lucky to make £5 per head, but with our clubbers they do about 25 a head easy. Wow. The legendary DJ Fat Tony who started, oh fucking Fat Tony, I fucking hate that guy. Just skip him. Skip fucking Fat Tony. He gets on my nerves. Actually, let's just read it anyway. He's fucking annoying though. I think the demographics and clubbing have changed so dramatically because Generation Z don't drink anymore. Pubs and bars and nightclubs are opening up. That older generation just stay open. They then are thinking, okay, we're not going to be judged anymore when we go out clubbing. We're not going to be looked at like we're old age pensioners in a club. When their children grow up, their nice parents from that culture want to take their kids out raving. Dare I say, give their child their first pill. Ooh, okay. That's definitely some white Mundele thing. I'm not giving my kid a pill, bro. He or she can find out themselves. I'm not fucking racking up lines with my kids. I mean, to show them the way so I can at least introduce. No. That's not a line you want to cross. I don't think you want to cross that line. Giving your kid their first pill is fucking insane. Might as well give them a bump. Might as well fucking give them a fucking injection. What more? Jesus. That's what they grow up on. I see it all the time. The demand for older clubbers has been matched by the return of 90s club nights like Peaches, God's Kitchen and Clockwork Orange. The latter is something of a pioneer in his age, says Danny Gould, aka Danny Clockwork. The club started holding events in 2014, years after silence of following the Gould quitting to get sober in 2001. I had years of drug-fueled lunacy until my brain just went, you have to stop, he explains. When we were reopening Printworks, we sold 6,000 tickets in 20 minutes, finishing at 9 p.m. I'm in bed by 10 p.m. I'd say it's 2/3 an older crowd and a bunch of 20-somethings. Okay, fair enough. So there are some young people also that don't like that, would like it, like that kind of flow. Older clubbers have jobs, lost jobs, their parents have died, their kids have grown up, they've got nothing to prove anymore, so everyone's respectful and just enjoying themselves. I think that's why the youngsters come and are positivity and say, okay, that's quite a good mix then. So they do older club events and youngsters also go there because it's just about the vibes in the club and no one's just overly obsessed with social media, no one's trying to hit on each other aggressively. Okay, that's interesting. For Anderson, this is in itself explicably political, in that even if you're not thinking about it as a critique of modern society consciously, someone said that the first time they went to a club, they couldn't believe everyone was nice. They'd never experienced that before. It's a desire for tolerance. Jesus Christ. We live in a complex time in the UK, on its knees and on its way in so many ways, so it feels right to have a boom in dance music and a dance culture, a place where you can just for a few hours forget about everything. And of course this chimes with the Generation X We think of the 60s as a free love and psychedelics, but the majority of the generation were brought up by post-war austerity and were very sensible and got a job, stayed in the same company until they retired and then got their pensions. True. Those are some of the boomers as well, who've got great fucking houses they don't want to give to their kids or sell on or give away. Fucking annoying. But Gen Xers have had the explosion of acid house music in the 80s and 90s that gave us exclusive happy culture. Maybe that's something that's missing in modern world. Social media is very divisive and very fracturing, but being in a real life environment that's inclusive and all about coming together, I think there's something very attractive about it. Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. I think nowadays there is more division on the dance floor than ever. With the popularity of queer raves and shit, those are very other. They're in the other way. The commercial events are doing their thing another way. The black events are doing their thing another way. There's now a lot of like East Asian events that are doing their things another way. I feel like it's more fractured than it's ever been. Unfortunately, it's open. You can do whatever you want based on your interests and stuff. I still haven't seen a proper lesbian night though. I'm not sure why that hasn't popped off. I feel like I see everyone catered to. I see gays catered to, queers catered to. I see people with sex kinks quote catered to, black people catered to, Asian people catered to. But I don't really see a lot of club nights for lesbians. Maybe because obviously I'm not a lesbian, so maybe it's not crossing my fucking timeline. But I wonder why that's not a thing just yet. Because I feel like there's a bunch of them in nightlife, but they don't necessarily have their own nights. Or maybe they go to queer nights. Maybe that's their thing. Instead of having specific lesbian nights, maybe they just group it in with queer nights. I'm not too sure. But I also think don't generally lesbian and gays have a lot of beef. It's not usually an amicable relationship. I don't know. I'm wondering. Mark has already opened a night in Amsterdam and had an Australian friend franchise Studio 38.8 in Brisbane. Clockwork Orange holds nights in Thailand, Dubai and Ibiza. Wow. And we're doing parties all over the world. Gerard Skolnik went to a few of the raves in Florida in the 90s, but then moved to Big Apple and worked for tech marketing for years. In 2015, his spin class was promoting a festival where the Chemical Brothers played, and he discovered his taste for UK dance music. His next club night was above and beyond a UK electro trio. I wonder if that's gonna come back, bro. Actually, electro smash and stuff. This is one of the week before Donald Trump 2016 election. The event was spiritual in a way I didn't expect. They put a message on the screen like, if you love someone, tell them now. And during this politically rife time, one of the messages was like, look around, you're so colorful. You are also colorful. I had this moment realizing that we might have completely different beliefs, but right now we're all sharing something. Jesus Christ, look at the power of the rave. A bit cringy, a bit annoying, a bit self-aggrandizing, but I do like it. He now works in clubs and festivals and harm reduction, testing drugs for the presence of fentanyl, helping people to bad trips. When I ask him why he thinks older clubbers on both sides of the pond are back clubbing like they were 30 years ago, he thinks for a second. In the US, Gen X is called the lost generation. I think those events are what we need to be, not lost. He gives a slow and sad smile. It's the idea that I feel like I belong somewhere. I think our generation for a long time, never felt like it belonged anywhere. Now I found my place. Wow, beautiful, beautiful article. Recommend you check it out. I argue and dispute some of the claims made in there, but largely I agree with the idea of having more people out on the dance floors again. Happy to hear the Gen Xers are finding dance floors fun again. Happy that they're creating their own spaces to go and rave and not fucking going to all the young people's raves and making those guys feel uncomfortable, and vice versa. Happy that now the young people are finding the Gen Xers and wanting to rave with them because they rave in a particular way. Happy that the clubs that aren't making money are making money because the Gen Xers are going there and spend loads of money because they've got loads of disposable income. I'm happy across the board. I'm happy across the board. More clubs opening, more people on the dance floor. Let it continue. Let it continue. Let it blood clot continue. Big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate you. Thank you. That has been the X Zing Show, episode number 931. If it's your first time checking out the show, please like the stream down below. If you're watching via the YouTube, if you're listening via the flipping podcast app, you won't be needing to do that, because my tune of the day will be playing underneath my voice. My tune of the day is this song. It's an amapiano song that I just discovered the other day, courtesy of LeeMcKrazy and Tyler ICU. It's called Ebasini. I recommend you check it out. It's playing underneath my voice right now as I finish this particular pod. Ebasini by LeeMcKrazy and Tyler ICU, legendary amapiano producer and artist, is my song of the day for those of you listening via the podcast app. Everybody else, the show will fade to black. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave me a 5-star review on all the podcast app, like the stream. If you're watching for your YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see the rest of you guys later on for another episode of Random Show. But for now, thank you for tuning in to the Action Show number 931. Take care. Be well, everybody. Peace.